Creamer Media's Engineering News and Mining Weekly is speaking to Reshmi Walfers, the project manager of Green Cape.
The Alternative Service Delivery Unit is a bit of a mouthful, so I'll call it the ASDU. We're a data-driven, community-led off-grid service delivery unit. And we were established a few years ago to help design, facilitate, and manage the provision of tailored service models to basically unserviced or unserviceable communities. And that would be on behalf of specific stakeholders like private landowners, or even the municipalities that need help with servicing some of the communities that they won't be able to traditionally provide services to. So we co-design with these communities to understand what their preferences are and what their needs are, and then work with them to choose the right intervention for them that is using an alternative approach to either energy, water and sanitation, or waste. And it's really a partnership between the funders, the service providers, us, and the communities that we are involved in.
Fantastic. And can you tell us specifically about these people that were living in un-electrified, informal settlements in Cape Town, in two places, and you have managed to give them electricity from the sun and for them to actually own the systems?
So our main go-to thinking is that communities know their context better than anyone else. And so with all of the communities that we work in, we started with a very extensive enumeration and mobilization exercise in Freedom Farm and Malawi camp. They together are made up of about 3,000 people. They've been living on that site for about 15 to 30 years. And they're on private land at the moment. So they're on the land of the Airports Company South Africa. And because of the location, they won't be electrified traditionally because of the power lines and so on being difficult to put up over there. So we've worked with these communities for about 2-3 years now. And what we've done is really to help them articulate their own data profile. So they've been able to say what their community is made up of, how many people live there, what services they currently have access to, how much they are spending on these services, whether informally or otherwise. And then also based on that data, after we've verified it with those community leaders, then really to workshop with them to understand what their aspirations are and what their dreams are for this community that they call home. And then also what their challenges were as well. So of these challenges, we do a prioritization exercise. So to narrow down an understanding of what kind of solution would have the most impact and would be the most urgent for them to have solved from a energy perspective, because we aren't doing handouts here. We're not going to be able to solve all the problems. So we do need to understand what would have the most impact and which would be the most urgent to solve. And that we can do, of course, considering our own budgets and so on. And in each of these communities, home level electricity was prioritized. So having lights in their own homes, being able to watch TV or listen to the radio, having that connectivity to the outside world. And then a combination of safety and food storage were highlighted as the main priorities in those two specific communities. So we went out on tender to find a service provider that could actually meet as many of those needs as possible. So I just want to highlight that, because we didn't go out saying we're looking for a microgrid operator or we're looking for a specific type of solution. What we said was, this is the profile of the community. This is what their needs are. What can you offer us that can meet those needs from an alternative energy perspective? And so together with the community, after we've received a couple of these bids, we ended up choosing a company called iSolar. They're a solar home system provider that could provide 3 internal home lights. They could provide charging capability, so you can charge your phone. You're able to power small DC appliances like radios or torches. And you can also potentially add a TV to your service bundle as well. So it met at least 2 or 3 of the needs that they had prioritized in our co-design process with them. So this is a business that they are a part of. We've had to skill them up on how to do data collection, how to go door to door, how to avoid conflict, how to be able to engage with their neighbors and ask for information that maybe your neighbor doesn't want to share with you. We have to go as far as training the installers, the people who are going to be climbing up on people's roofs, to make sure that they, safely install a system, that they're able to maintain those systems if there are any problems that arise. We have what's called iSolar ambassadors. These are people who provide marketing in the communities to try and tell them more about the service. They do client liaison. So if there's any late payments, if there's any issues or questions that come out from the clients, then these are the guys who would be trying to find a solution for them in that time. And I say guys, but it's really quite a female staffed operation at the moment. So I say that very loosely. But we also, we've been engaging with community leaders and have had to equip them to be able to represent their communities better, to be able to speak on their behalf, to do conflict resolution, to really be able to share what the needs and so on are. I mean, the alternative service delivery unit is starting to investigate Mpumalanga and also the Eastern Cape for some of our projects. And this is something that we're quite excited about. In Mpumalanga, with the just energy transition being localized almost over there, with when mining companies are going to have to slow down their role a little bit, with the just energy transition taking place, there's a lot of communities that side that are currently powered by these companies and who are taken care of by them. So when they leave that area, then and municipalities aren't able to step in to take care of them, then who will? And so this is really an exciting opportunity to include communities in that just energy transition as well.